To kick off the list, we got Matt Gay at 3,800. This is only a large field tournament play for me. Just due to the fact I don't really play kickers in my main lineups, rarely. And this is not one of those slates, in my opinion, looking at the pricing the way I have. So, yeah, Matt Gay is only a large field GPP play, which means 150 lineups. If you want to take a couple cracks at him, I think that would be a good way to do it. Tyler Higby, 4,800, still questionable to play. So, I mean, I don't really know how we're going to utilize him just yet. Kendall Blanton is a decent play if Higby is rolled out. But as of right now, we'll have to wait and see on some injury news. But we'll have more on that on our final thoughts video. Van Jefferson at 5,200 is a great leverage play. I really like him a lot. Casual players are going to be looking to play Odell Beckham Jr. They're going to be looking to play Tyler Boyd, that's around the same price point. This is a slate where you're going to want to leave some salary on the table just because everybody that you want to play is so easy to get in. And I think this is one of those slates where you're going to have to leave some money on the table to get different. And I don't mind playing Van Jefferson over Odell Beckham Jr. He has big playability. Rams at 3,400, another great play. I really feel like this Rams D versus this Bengals O line is just a big mismatch. And if you look at the stats, Joe Burrow was the most sacked quarterback in the NFL last year. And I think that is an edge. I usually don't really like playing defenses in my showdowns, single entries at least. But I am considering it. Not too sure if I'm going to do it just yet, but I am considering it. 3,400. It's a decent price point for the Rams. And this could very well be like last year's Super Bowl where Joe Burrow was just running for his life. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know if I'm going to play that in my main lineup or not, but as of right now, I have some interest in single entry play, but definitely play Rams D at 150s. Then we move on to Cam Akers, 6,400. He is just too cheap, and he will be popular. At that price point, I think you got to play him. I think you got to put him in. While there is some news coming out that Darrell Henderson might be eligible to play, I'm not concerned with that news. And Sony Michel, somebody that hasn't had much of a workload since Cam Akers has been back. So I really don't have a concern here, especially if I like the Rams defense the way I do. I think it's going to be a heavy run game for the Rams. I really don't think they're going to be flinging the ball all too much. Sean McVay likes running the ball and playing hard-nosed defense. And I think that's where we're headed to for this game. That's the kind of game script I'm looking at as of right now. Cooper Kupp at 11,600, way too cheap. This is probably the cheapest we've seen him in about a month on showdown slates. He's usually in between the 12 and 13,000 range. This is a decent price for him, and you got to roster him. He's 160 yards shy of breaking the NFL receiving yards record for the playoffs. That's something to keep an eye on. And I really like what I've seen all year long from him, and it's just hard not to play him if you like playing the Rams on this slate. You got to go with Cooper Kupp. Matthew Stafford, 10,800. He's my favorite quarterback on the slate. Not that I think he's going to throw the ball 40 or 50 times or anything like that, but I think he's going to be really efficient. I think he's going to get at least 2 touchdown passes, hopefully. I just see a real efficient game from him. Not many incompletions. I don't see him turning the ball over. But yeah, that's main reasons why I like him. And Odell Beckham Jr., he's a solid play at 8,400. But I think where a lot of people are going to have to make a decision on if they're playing Odell Beckham or not is if they're going to play T. Higgins, who's on the Bengals, of course, or Odell Beckham because they're around the same price range. T. Higgins, 7,600. Odell Beckham, 8,400. But like I said before, Van Jefferson, great leverage off of Odell. And it gets you different because you're leaving salary on the table. Then we move on to Ben Scobernick at $600. Large field GPP play for me only. But I do have some interest in him if Tyler Higby doesn't play. We saw him get a little more involved down the field in the last game when Higby got ruled out for the game against San Francisco. And I wouldn't mind seeing him put in some work if he gets an opportunity. But as of right now, only large field GPP play only. Sony Michel at 5,000. He's a decent leverage, and if you think the Rams are going to be ground and pound on defense and running the ball, I could definitely see Sony Michel finding a way into the end zone. Definitely not somebody that I'm rostering in my single entry lineup, but I do not mind having a lineup maybe with Cam Akers and Sony Michel both in the lineup because I think both of them could get there at their price ranges. But overall, don't be afraid to leave salary on the table. Don't be afraid to make some good leverage plays. Van Jefferson, probably my favorite leverage play on the Rams. And yeah, that's my player interest for the Rams. And let's go ahead and move on to the Bengals injury news.